In this tutorial, we show you how to create intelligent process automation using Task Manager. You can use Task Manager to create schedules of tasks that cross all of your cloud and on-premise business processes. You can automate repetitive procedures by adding tasks that run automatically when a predecessor task finishes. Intelligent automation uses Task Manager integration tasks. There are three types of integration tasks. Automated tasks run without user intervention. For example, you could automatically run consolidations after a data load is completed. System monitoring tasks watch for an event in a business process. For example, you could monitor the status of the accounts receivable module in your ERP system and start a task when the accounts receivable module closes. When launched by end users, EndUser tasks automatically open the user interface component needed to perform the task. Because I want to include tasks from the planning business process in my Task Manager schedules, I must first create a connection to the business process. Enter the connection information, and then click Validate to verify the connection. Note that you can use Oracle Integration Cloud Service to create connections to non-EPM Cloud services and to on-premise applications. Next, I'll open Task Manager and create integration tasks. To create integration tasks for a business process, I open the Integrations page and then select Manage Connections. I've already created integrations for financial consolidation and close. Notice that integrations for planning are currently disabled. I'll edit planning and select Enabled. Next, I'll select Sync EPM Connections to create the planning integrations. This also creates a Task Manager task type for each integration. The status dialog box tells me that 23 integrations and 23 task types were created for planning. Notice that the planning tasks have been added to the integrations list. Now I'll add tasks to the monthly data loads template. My template already contains a task for approving corporate data that starts on day -5. I'll create an automated integration that runs a data management data load rule as soon as the Approve Corporate Data task is complete. The rule copies the approved data from the financial consolidation and close business process to the planning business process. You select integration tasks in the Task Types dialog box. Notice that the planning integration task types have been added. I want to create an automated financial consolidation and close task to run a data load rule. Automated tasks display a gear icon. On the Parameters tab, I'll provide the information needed to run the data management data load rule. For start period and end period, I enter the data management period keys. On the Workflow tab for automated tasks, you use the Run As field to enter the user login ID to be used to perform the task. The Run As user must authorize the task before it will execute. I want this task to run as soon as the Approved Corporate Data task is completed, so I'll assign the same start day, and then I'll add the Approved Corporate Data task as a predecessor with the Finish to Start option. This causes the Export Actuals to Planning task to run automatically as soon as the status of the Approved Corporate Data task changes to Closed. I'm finished setting up this task, so I'll click Save and Close. My task for the Run Data Rule integration type has been added to the template. Now I'll add an EndUser task for verifying the data load into planning that uses one of the planning integration types. I want this task to open the planning data form needed to perform the task, so in the Task Types dialog box, I'll expand Planning and select the Enter Form Data task type. EndUser tasks display a user icon. On the Parameters tab, I'll select the planning form needed for the task. For EndUser tasks, you use the Workflow tab to assign the user or team responsible for performing the task. I want this task to open as soon as the Export Actuals to Planning task finishes, so I'll assign it the same start day and add Export Actuals to Planning as the predecessor task. Now I'll create a schedule from the template to verify my task flow. Schedules are created with an initial status of pending. I'll change the schedule status to open. I'll navigate to the Tasks page and view the work list. When a schedule is opened, alerts requesting authorization display in the work lists of the Run As users for the automated tasks. I'll authorize the Export Actuals to Planning task. Now I'll view the schedule in the Schedule Tasks page. The Approve Corporate Data task is open and the other tasks are pending. I'll submit the Approve Corporate Data task. The status for Approve Corporate Data is now closed, so its successor task, Export Actuals to Planning, automatically runs the Data Management data load. I can click Refresh to update the task status. The task status automatically changes to closed when the data load is completed, which allows its successor task to open. When I launch the Review Data Load to Planning task, the planning form needed to perform the task is embedded in the Task Manager task page, allowing me to verify that the data has been loaded to planning. In this tutorial, we showed you how to create intelligent process automation using Task Manager. To learn more, visit cloud.oracle.com.